Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Shoshana. And this morning I want to talk a little bit about abundance and providence. This is a subject that I was requested to speak on, and I've kind of been stirring on it. Because abundance isn't only money. Abundance can come in many different forms. And abundance is an energy. And when we are abundant, there is a natural flow. Have you ever noticed that the areas in your life that just flow naturally are things that you don't even have to think about? They just come natural to you, and there is a flow to them. You don't get stuck on them. And many times you don't even know that they're there. You are unaware of them until somebody comes along and points it out to you. So let's say with me, being in friendly dynamics, being able to speak with people, being open, comes very naturally to me. It always has come natural. I've had situations where where your energy and other energies don't suit. So there's a little bit of I don't want to say conflict, but there is a little bit of a closure there. So there isn't a natural merge with some people, but in general, I can say that area of my life, the area of family and love, flows fairly easy for me. And I have met people that in the area of meeting with people or with their family dynamics, it always seems to be very, very difficult for them. And this is also a form of abundance, a form of an area in your life where there is natural flow, where it doesn't get stuck on I want to say obstruction within the flow, right? Because there is a flow to things. There is a natural cause and effect in the universe. Everything is in natural flow. And in the areas that you are aligned within yourself, that you are aligned with your divine being, those areas flow. And you could see it as having like this hose going through you, or like this pipe going through you, that the energy is in constant flow. And the larger you open the pipe, the more flow you allow through. Now, if you are afraid of opening the pipe in those areas, it could be that it's restricted just because you are pinching it off, or it could be restricted because it is out of alignment. So the natural flow in, and then something doesn't allow that flow to do its full cycle. So there's something, let's say the hose comes down here, and then this hose is over here, and there is no cycle. And this can be with overeating, for instance, people that need to constantly eat, because you can see that in our food. We eat, we take the nutrients, and what our body doesn't need, it naturally removes and goes back into the cycle of life, right? You can see that in the physical world. I'm going to pause you for a second. I'm getting my coffee. So when you can see this flow as a template of the way things flow naturally in life, you can see that abundance isn't only abundance in money. It can be abundance in many different areas of your life. It could be in there's so many areas in my life that I have pure abundance in ideas. I have abundance of ideas. That means I allow the ideas to flow through, to do full circle, to do full, I fully develop some of them at least, right? But I allow that flow. And when because I am connected, and this isn't in a way of being, oh, look at me, I'm so okay. It's not in a way of being conceited or in a way of it's in a way of trying to explain this. And that you have the capability of this within yourself as well. And there's plenty of areas in your life that you are fully abundant in, that come very naturally, very easy for you, that you have little or no effort in. And many of the times they come so natural to you that you don't even notice that they're there. And so that it's the obvious. It's like a fish doesn't know that it's swimming in water because it's in the water. It's immersed completely in the water. It doesn't even know that there is water. And a lot of times the things that we are most natural at, the things that our biggest talents, the ways that we are natural, what shines forth out of us, the most obvious that every single person that meets you notices right off the bat, so obvious it's even overlooked to even tell you about it. There's been so many times that I meet with people and that I just point out the very obvious to them about themselves. I do an energetic reading and I energetically explain to them their strengths, the things that they're very, very good at. And they have never heard it before in their life because either nobody knew how to reflect that back to them, or because it was something that was so obvious that it was a given that there was no need to even say it. But what happens is that you go through life without anybody reflecting that back to you. And when you receive that kind of reflection, you recognize the truth in it because you know these things instinctively about yourself. Many times you don't know how to put them into words, but you know these things instinctively about yourself. And when you can have somebody come in, I'm getting a little bit offline here, right? Because I do energetic readings. If you would like to schedule with me, you can schedule within my website below. It's part of the sessions that we do. I also do an energetic reading and kind of tell you what you're made of, what you are naturally gifted in. It's one of my gifts is to be able to see this. So many times it's so obvious that nobody has ever pointed it out to you. And I have cookies, so I'm going to pause this for a second. I'm in the process of making cookies as well as I'm doing this, just to show you the cookies right as I'm pulling them out. I just swapped out the cookie sheet. And so abundance comes in so many different ways. And when you can pick up on, let's say, if you can get a reflection back, or if you know what you are abundant in, then you can find the template of the abundance, and you can apply that template to other places in your life. Now, it's simple but very difficult at the same time, because we are, like we've said in so many different videos, that we are programmed in certain ways, and we're programmed in these beliefs that we believe to be true, especially about money and about how to make money. And many of us are programmed, including myself. It's something that I also have dealt with in many areas of my life, and I'm still dealing with in parts of my healing, my own personal journey, is when you are programmed with something that is out of alignment. Money is hard to make. You have to work hard to make money. Always finish what you start. That money is bad or evil, or people that and sometimes the teaching wasn't that direct. We were never told, oh, money is bad, it's evil. Sometimes we were even taught the opposite. Oh, we need to go make money. You have to get money. You have to get money. Or you're taught money doesn't grow on trees, or money comes to those who already have money, or all sorts of beliefs. And sometimes we are also taught conflicting ideas. So we'll be saying, okay, you have to receive money so that you can have a comfortable life. But on another aspect, we're taught, like, under the underlying notion is that money is evil. People that have lots of money are greedy and out of sync, or lose themselves in their power, or all sorts of things like that teach us underneath the surface that money is something evil, or if we have money, we have to always watch ourselves that we don't lose ourselves in the process. And these are false beliefs. It doesn't mean that those things don't exist in the world, but it does not mean that is, if you have money, then that's the price of having money. Those things don't automatically go together. It depends on what you do and how you perceive it. And so if you are in a mode where you're believing that money is difficult to receive, or that you have to work really hard to get paid very little, then there is something in your belief system that is blocking that natural flow. Because I have a friend. I'll tell a story. I have a friend, and she's older than I am. She's probably getting close to 60 now. I'm 49 almost. And she has never really had to work in her life. And if you ask me how, I have no idea. She has a big house. Sometimes she works part-time with children, things that she likes doing. Somehow in life, she has always been taken care of. She had a husband and he supported, very nice. And then they bought a second house together in a very expensive area that they're renting out. So she's still making a living off of getting half of the rent from that, which pays for, and her husband, her ex-husband, left her the house when they broke up. So she has this big house, this big, nice house to live in. And for somehow, like when you think about it in practical ways, you're like, okay, well, those things happen, and that's what allowed her to have that kind of life. But it's more than that, because when you meet her, it's almost like it's a given. She's deserving of it. Of course she's provided for. Of course she lives a very plush life and doesn't have to work very much at all. And whenever she does work, it's just in things that she likes to do or wants to do, even after her divorce. And it was something that when I first started observing her, right? Because I love observing people, and I love doing it because it's just so fascinating. It's so fascinating, and while you're observing, you also get that mirror back. You learn about yourselves, whether you see yourselves always in. I don't want to say comparison, because it's not apples to apples. It's not comparing, right? But we do have archetypes that are flowing through us, archetypes which are structures of behavior that are in common with all of humanity. And that is how we even have the capability to connect and to understand and to communicate with other people. If we didn't have the things in common that we do, right? Because much of our conversation is done telepathically. It's done, I want to say like 80% of our communication with others doesn't have to do with the words that we say. Have you ever heard somebody that says something and you know that they mean something else, or they say something that's completely out of sync with the vibe that you are getting from them, and then something is off? You can feel that offness, and then you're like, you steer clear because something there isn't authentic, whether they know that they're doing it or not, because most of the time people are lying to themselves without even knowing that they're lying to themselves. And I don't mean this in a judgmental kind of bad kind of way, because that is this spiritual awakening. We are aligning ourselves. We're finding places that we are out of alignment with our own selves, that we didn't even know that we're being dishonest with ourselves. So it's all a process, and there is no judgment in it. It's just that when you become aware of these things, you have more control over your own aura, over your own energetic field, whether you allow the people that you allow in, or the people that you listen to, or you may be wary. You may decide that, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of space from this person, because this person affects me, right? Because we have this aura and we have this energetic field. And when we come into contact with other people, those energetic fields kind of merge or overlap each other. And then we have communication and the ability to understand what they are saying, right? Because a lot of the communication is not done just solely through words. It's also through tone. It's also through perspective, right? The words that I say are always going to reflect my perspective on life. If I am happy, then my words are going to reflect this bright look at life. And if I am depressed, then my words are going to reflect this depressed scarcity kind of underlying motif. And it can't be different. You cannot express out of your mouth something that is not within your perspective of your ability to see. That's why it's so important for us because our words are constantly creating our realities. That's why it is so important for us to clean our those, what I was talking about, those hoses, or those you see, there's different energies that we connect to. Different, you could see them as energies, archetypal structures, energetic structures. and they flow through us. And the more that we purify ourselves, that we allow that flow to flow through us, then there is no effort in it. So getting back to the abundance. So my friend that I was talking about, she doesn't have any resistance in abundance, right? For her, it's a given. She was raised in a family where she was kind of like a princess, and she was always doted over. And she grew up being doted over, and it was obvious to her that she just deserves to be doted over and supported just because she exists. And it's not something that she does intentionally, and she doesn't do it arrogantly, and it's just her natural way of being. And the universe listens. If you get to tell the world who you are, and the world listens. And it doesn't come from a place of using anybody or abusing anybody. It comes from a place of that's just a given for her. And the people around her enjoy giving to her because she is in that way kind of privileged. But it's the privilegedness is kind of what she just gives to the world. And we're going to get down to some practical advice here. I want to start getting into that quickly. So this alignment in places that you feel difficulty, or, oh no, I lack, I can't support myself. And so many people on the spiritual awakening, that is one of the walls that they run into, is because they cannot go out and work a regular 9-to-5 job anymore. Cannot. When you are going through the spiritual awakening, that is simply, it's a can't do it. You can only do things that are aligned with your life purpose and your life mission anymore. And a lot of times we don't even know what that is. And what it is getting ourselves aligned, and then everything else will naturally flow. I need to check the second batch. Just give me a sec. Still have a couple of minutes. And so our main work is to do our spiritual work, because once we are fully aligned, once it's like click, 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 and everything, all of those hoses are without restriction. We're not closing them off anymore because we're afraid. Right? When you close off those, when you can just like pinch them off, like you're afraid of that flow because it feels too wide open, or too you're too vulnerable, or it might get away from you. It might go too fast. So you pinch it off, and then you stop that natural flow. Or if you allow the flow in, like let's say with overeating, and I am allowing myself to talk about this because I was morbidly obese in my life. I weighed, I think, close to 300 pounds, 140 kilo. And so I have the right to talk about this. I can talk about it. I weighed twice as much as I weigh now. So in my lifetime. And so I know that overeating is a mechanism of, first of all, compensation, and it is a emotional. When you have emotional pain, it is something that you. And I know that this is difficult to kind of connect, because when I was obese, I was always told, okay, it's emotional eating. But how do you practically even take care of that? But as you heal yourself, those addictions and those kinds of overcompensation fall away. But the point that I wanted to make about this specifically is that is when you open the hoses to come in, it's a scarcity, right? Come in, you want to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And the flow isn't the same at the same rate. So you're bringing far more in than you are allowing out. So it's kind of like squeezing off those hoses, right? That is the perfect example of scarcity. Trying to always hoard in, bring in, but you're not looking at that natural flow out, right? Because when you have a natural flow of abundance, then you are not afraid of the money getting away from you. People that have a lot of money aren't afraid also to spend money. And I'm not saying go out and splurge, because there has to be some kind of even ground, but you have to be able to spend money on the things that you want, need, and create a cycle of abundance. It comes in and it goes out. It comes in and it goes out. And you can have a little pool off to the side, right? Comes in, you put a little bit off to the side, and you allow most of it, and you create this beautiful flow, right? And a little side egg. But you're not taking anything with you. And the scarcity mode, as I also with hoarding, I have a lot of hoarding in my family, is you're afraid you're not going to have enough, so you keep on taking and taking. You see value in everything until you're sitting in a pile of, could be good stuff, but a pile of good stuff is garbage because overpiling. And it also is the fear of, if I don't hoard, I will not have. So it is also out of alignment. It is not creating that beautiful flow, right? That beautiful, I had a therapist once. I went to therapy for 7 years straight, conventional therapy. So I tried everything else as well. I did Theta healing. I did all sorts of alternative medicines and healing practices and meditation and so all of it together has been very, very helpful. I am very much for therapy and conventional, anything that you are drawn to, there are answers for it in you, whatever that you are capable of experiencing or drawn to experience, then I say do it. I also offer sessions where we kind of go in, it's more radical. We kind of go in and look at the core. We kind of bypass everything and kind of look at the core of your being, of your natural tendencies. And by doing that, everything that is out of sync, everything that is in the outskirts is shaken kind of. And then once it's shaken and once you have that self-recognition of what is most important, then there is a process in which happens naturally of kind of dropping all the things that are not important anymore in your life, and you kind of and during this process you kind of recognize them as well. And so with creating abundance, hold on, I have to check my cookies just a sec. So to get back to the practicalities of it, what you can do to practice, first of all, is to try to recognize the places in which you already have pure abundance, and to kind of do your self-study, go in meditation and kind of see how you naturally flow in those places and why it is, because you don't feel lack in those places. You feel full security and knowing that you are capable in those areas and deserving. And there are many of those places within you, and sometimes they're the most obvious places that you don't even realize that are there. And second of all, understanding that Providence is given. There is only in the world. There is only plus. There is no minus a tree. There is either a tree or there's a tree, right? So everything is in plus. There is pure abundance in the world. The language of the world is pure love, and there is pure abundance in the world. So the concept of lack is man-made, and it is a man-made concept, right? There is no minus an orange. The tree didn't give you 10 oranges this year, so now it owes you next year 10 oranges. It doesn't make sense, right? So the concept of minus or lack is man-made. It is a concept of the mind. And so first of all, know, right, that there is abundance and that there is providence, and that just the fact that you are in existence is the proof within itself that you are worthy of the providence that this world has to give to you, because you are of this earth, you are of the world, you are as ancient as the earth itself. It could not be different. You could not exist if there wasn't what to maintain you with, and to maintain you in a way of satisfaction, of pure satisfaction. So you are worthy and capable of being provided for. And just like my friend believes that she is, so she is. And it's just so simple for her. And it was so easy and when you watch it, it's like, well, what? It just flows for her. And it can for each and every single one of us. And so this has also been my life's work because of how I was raised. And what I've realized is that the abundance that you have, the providence for you, you are most abundant in the places that you have a naturally tendency to be good at. So your talents are your abundance. You will become most abundant doing what you are naturally prone to do. Doing what it comes the most natural for you is the source of your own abundance and your own providence, right? Because whatever you are the best at is where you are naturally inclined to lean into, and what will bring you has a value in the world, and it is the place that you have the most value in the world, because what comes naturally to you, it's what you are of, it's what you are meant to express, it is your gifts, it is your God essence, it is the gifts of God that are flowing through you for humanity and to be expressed. So in those places, if you can get back to your core, the quietness, and this is where the work comes in. You have to quiet the monkey mind. You have to quiet that lack, that, oh no, scarcity, that going into flipping mind mode, like, oh no, I have to pay my rent. How am I going to pay my rent? What can I do to make money? And it can't come from that kind of place, because that is the kind of lack. So you have to take that bubble of fear, and this is the work, put it off to the side and allow yourself to flow. Just do what comes most naturally to you. Follow your nose, like Bashar said. Bashar is excellent on this. And Bashar is really, I would suggest to sit down and watch a few of his videos, because he explains this point so easily and so fully. And allow yourself to flow into what comes the most natural to you, what you are most prone to do. And out of those places will come the most providence, the most abundance for you. Out of those places will naturally, when you let go of the scarcity mode, you are pure abundance. You are pure essence of abundance. You are of the creation, and you are a mirror. So when you start giving your gift to the world, you create that beautiful cycle. Right? You give your gift and you get back through your gift, right? And it's not solely on your mind. This isn't something that you can solely maneuver with your mind. You have to allow yourself to immerse completely into it. That means lose your mind in the moment. Those things that you are so good at that you lose time in. And the thing is that in society nowadays, we were kind of coerced, or we're in this system that is built on fear of lack, fear of not having. We have to keep, we're keeping this big motor running, that is the government motor. And the system is built on keeping the people in this constant get up and owe the system in order to live or to make a living. And the system is built in a way where it is very difficult if you are solely working within the system, according to the system, it's very difficult to jump layers, right? So if you are in that, there was this movie that I saw, I don't remember the name of it, and I'm not even going to go into it because I can't remember, but it's like people have time, and they're allotted a certain amount of time, and that is the currency. And so they're always trading off time, and the people that are in the lowest levels are always living on the hair of, and if the time runs out, that's it, you're gone. You're dead. You die. And so you're constantly running after trying to get more time, and it's very difficult to jump from the lowest level to the next level to the next level to the highest level, where they're just, swimming in time. And really cool movie. It kind of explains the concept from the Matrix concept from a much higher level. I can see that's already getting very, very long. And so the secret is getting into that natural flow of things, and taking that ball of fear and putting it on the side. It'll keep seeping up, and you keep on having to take it and put it off to the side and find that natural flow of the things that you are best at. And the ideas will come and they will spur out of that. But you have to trust, and you have to know that it is true, and you have to be willing to do the internal work. And what else can you do? When you're on the spiritual awakening, you're in it. There's no escaping it. Once it is instigated, once it is initiated, once you are initiated, there's no turning back. You are on this. And so jumping back and forth in between the different states of mind, dimensions, whatever you want to call it, is delaying the process of, you are abundance. You are pure abundance. You have the right to live. There is a providence for you in the world just from your purest state of being. And when you completely know that in a way that is so deep that it cannot be different, you won't even think about making a living anymore. It'll just be a given. It'll just be there. And so the place that you will be most abundant in are the things that you are prone to naturally, the things that come to you the most naturally, the things that you are the best at. And from there, so get yourself into the flow. Take that ball of fear, put it over to the side, and trust that whatever happens, happens for the highest good. Well, even sometimes if everything in your life right now crumbles, that's what needs to happen for the next step to unfold for you. So quit trying to hold on to what isn't working, because if you are in that stressed mode, something in your life isn't working. And so trying to hold on to something that isn't working, that you're constantly in stress over anyway, is kind of like, why are you trying to hold on to something that makes you constantly be stressed in any case? Maybe the answer is completely in a different direction that you would have never thought of until you let yourself off the hook and start following your nose, and then it leads you into the life that is most magnificent and aligned with you specifically. So I am sending you guys so much love. Thank you for being here with me. I hope that this was very helpful for you. And if you would like to meet with me, then my website is below. I would love to meet with you. Thank you so much. I'm also thinking on doing a live Q&A. So if you would like for me to do a live where you can come and ask questions, and live I will answer specifics, let me know in the comments, and so that I will know that, so that I can put something into motion. So sending you guys so much love. Thank you.